Okay, this might just be the best Toa Whenua revamp I have ever seen. It's packed full of so many incredible techniques, clever designs, and a lot of nice part usage as well. So let's get inspired by this and take a closer look at this work of art. So this Whenua revamp was built by Loaf Builds, and they also go by Ari. So Ari's Whenua MOC here, it's reimagining the wonderful Toa METRU Whenua set, which was one of my favorites of that team of Toa. He had a wonderful mask, but the coolest bit was definitely his weapons. But I don't know, this revamp's drill weapons, they are phenomenal. They're just a brilliant way to advance upon the original weapons that Whenua had. Now the Bionicle wiki calls these cool weapons Earth Shock Drills. They helped Whenua channel his earth powers, and they helped him dig. And I love that Ari's added his own personal touch to this, and he's reimagined them like they were real-life mining equipment. I mean, they serve the same purpose as mining equipment, right? The front part, it kind of looks like an actual jackhammer, to some degree. Yeah, and the choice to make them yellow as well, not only does that contrast nicely with this black armor, but it does make it look a lot like actual mining equipment. And hey, that ties back to the elemental powers of Earth that Whenua had. It's all just so smart and it's so fitting. I especially love how Ari's used this piece here for the drill bit at the front of this machinery. Here's this specific piece on Bricklink if you're interested in looking it up. It's a rather unique piece that appears in a set much like this Tiny Turbo's playset. You can see the street lamps here off on the side. Those are attached onto this larger road piece with the use of one of these pieces. You also see it on a few different cars and vehicle sets and stuff like that. It's an interesting piece. And I love too how he's left a little bit of space above it here, and he branches it onto the larger area with the use of one of these bar pieces and a few different pin pieces in light bluish grey. That really does make it look like heavy machinery, doesn't it? And that's further extended by the use of adding some of these lovely printed 1x4 tiles. The different gauges and buttons, it really does make it seem even more realistic. It's amazing how much one little printed piece can really enhance your build. Next time you make something, take a look at your stickers, your printed pieces. Adding one or two onto your MOC can really enhance them. So this specific printed piece, here it is on Bricklink. It's a slightly older piece, but it actually came in this old SpongeBob SquarePants set. The set was called Build-A-Bob. It's actually a part of the computer systems that make up SpongeBob's brain when you flip the set over. But you also saw this piece appearing in different train sets and other things too. It's actually quite a lovely little piece. Now the yellow area of this drill, such a great effect that's being created here with the use of some of these yellow curved slope pieces, and then in between these yellow sections, we have some of these tiny thin tire elements. You see these parts appearing on different racer sets and things like this. But yeah, that whole section just looks so cool. Oh, and then when we get to the back area here, we have a very clever part use. Up here, Ari has added a Duplo camera. So this obscure Lego piece, it comes in a few different Duplo sets. One of the more recent ones it comes in is this Duplo Spider-Man set. You can see Miles up the back is holding the camera. And man, I love that so much. Seeing Duplo, of all things, really tie this design together, it's so good. Man, any piece, even if it's a Duplo piece, it can be super helpful. Never underestimate the power of a good piece. Moving over now to the back design, Ari's included a lot of these tubes and pistons, and even this larger support beam down the middle. There's something about this that perfectly mirrors heavy-duty machinery, stuff you would see at a mining site. And it does also really sell that robotic look of this character. Now Ari loves to include wires and hoses and whips and all kinds of Lego tubing pieces on all of his different builds. It's kind of his signature thing when he makes stuff. And like we see here, it looks pretty good. But going back to this spine design, it's using this piece. Here it is on Bricklink. It comes in many different sets, like this Nexonite set, for example. Nexonites may not be the best Lego theme, but there were some at least nice pieces and interesting minifigures in it, so you know. Although it wasn't classic castle, but yeah, that's another topic for another video. Still, this set has this specific piece in it. That's what we'll focus on. I love the repetition of this piece here, because it mirrors the vertebrae that you would see on a human spine. But you know, these pieces have a great mechanical look to them. Yeah, what a nice blend of mechanical and organic designs. You know, Bionicle has often lended itself very well to organic and robotic vibes, so yeah, this is perfectly in the vein of Bionicle. Very well done. On the front of the torso, we have ourselves another clever part use. This piece here comes from the Naira Ghost Blaster that all of the Mystica Toa and the Makuta had. And yeah, integrating it into the torso, doesn't that just look wonderful? And also, look at how it flexes when Whenua leans over a little bit. The fact that that mirrors how normal human bodies move and flex, gosh, that's just so clever. It looks good and it captures real anatomy. Fantastic stuff. I also think the armoring above this waist is quite magical. It's using Core Hunter's torso piece, and then it pairs it nicely with Stringer 3.0's little arm piece here. Then we got 2 of them on the back, some really nice shoulder padding. These parts in conjunction like this up the top, it's so sleek, it's so cool. It is really great to see a perfect blend of armored textures, and also like pistons, wires, and machinery elsewhere. Ari's really struck a perfect balance between those rivaling textures. He mixes them together into a really intricate web. He's a very talented man, that Ari. A few other small details that I love include the crotch here that uses this slicer headpiece. Of course, these can be seen in different slicer sets, but they also come in a set much like the old Technic Darth Vader set. You can see them on the feet there. This piece actually pops up quite a fair bit in my mock spotlight videos. It's a really, really helpful piece, so if you don't have some in your collection, I recommend getting some. They pretty much always produce wonderful results when they're used in mocks. I also like how the inner thigh here has a few little details on it. Some are mechanical, some are like that black armor, but it looks lovely. And going back to that drill arm, the way that Ari's used some of these anti-studs here on these dark bluish grey pieces, it just beautifully continues that machinery mechanical vibe. And sometimes anti-studs look awful on LEGO MOCs. It's just not always a very visually pleasing texture to see the undersides of LEGO bricks like that. But here, it works perfectly. Dude, every single part of this MOC is so well crafted, so well made, and it uses pieces in just incredible ways. I mean, look at this. Sick weapons, nice sturdy, strong looking armor. It captures the essence of the original set, but brings it out in a wonderful new light. This is a magnificent revamp. This, yeah, it's my favorite MOC that Ari's ever made. And that's saying something, he builds a lot of good stuff. Yeah, it was a pleasure to see this in person at Brick Fair, Virginia, and actually when this was on display at Brick Fair, it looked incredible next to Alex Mox's revamp of Toa Nuju. I mean, this MOC could get its own video too. I adore this Nuju revamp. Might be actually one of my favorite MOCs that Alex has made too. But yeah, the fact that these two got to stand next to each other on the table at Brick Fair, that's something special. These were actually a part of an online collab where a bunch of different builders came together and rebuilt the Toa METRU. I'll have a link in the description below so you can check out the rest of this collab too. There was a lot of good stuff in that collab. You're definitely going to want to check it out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed taking a bit of a deep dive into this creation and studying all the brilliant techniques and details. I'll also have links to Ari's Flickr and Instagram in the links below, so go and check that out, and maybe you could leave a like on his stuff, give Ari a follow, and maybe comment on his MOCs and let him know just how good of a builder he truly is. Stay tuned for more of these MOC Spotlight videos coming your way soon. I'm most likely going to be at Brick Fair, Virginia this year, so you can expect a lot more of these videos coming your way. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video a lot, and hopefully it gave you a little bit of inspiration for your next Bionicle build. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.